Russell Brand, a critical examination of rape and sexual assault charges. The allegations against Russell Brand are not just tabloid fodder. They represent a stark reminder of the complexities surrounding consent, power dynamics, and the long shadow of past actions. This is not about entertainment. It's about justice, accountability, and supporting survivors. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Russell Brand, once a celebrated comedian and now a self-proclaimed wellness guru, faces serious charges. These include rape, indecent assault, oral rape, and 2 counts of sexual assault. The alleged offenses span a period from 1999 to 2005, painting a disturbing picture of repeated violations. The alleged incidents are said to have occurred in Bournemouth and London's Westminster area. The geographical spread suggests a pattern of behavior, not isolated incidents. Each location represents a potential crime scene, a place where a woman's autonomy was allegedly violated. One woman alleges she was raped in Bournemouth in 1999. This single allegation carries the weight of trauma, the potential for lifelong psychological scars. It's a stark reminder of the devastating impact of sexual violence. Another woman claims she was indecently assaulted in Westminster in 2001. The term indecent assault can minimize the severity of the act, but it still represents a violation of personal boundaries and a breach of trust. A particularly disturbing allegation involves oral rape and sexual assault in Westminster in 2004. The combination of these charges underscores the alleged perpetrator's disregard for the victim's consent and bodily integrity. The final charge involves sexual assault allegedly committed between 2004 and 2005. The extended time frame suggests a sustained pattern of abusive behavior, further compounding the trauma for the alleged victim. The investigation into these allegations began in September 2023, triggered by media reports detailing the accusations against Brand. These reports acted as a catalyst, prompting law enforcement to delve into the past and uncover potential evidence. The initial reports included a reported rape in Los Angeles in 2012. This international dimension adds another layer of complexity to the case, potentially involving multiple jurisdictions and legal systems. Further allegations surfaced, including assault against a 16-year-old girl. This allegation is particularly disturbing, highlighting the vulnerability of minors and the potential for exploitation of power imbalances. The reports also detailed an alleged sexual assault at his West Hollywood property. This location, a place of residence and potential sanctuary, becomes tainted by the alleged crime, a symbol of betrayal and violation. Following the initial media coverage, police received additional complaints. This influx of new information suggests that the initial reports emboldened other potential victims to come forward, seeking justice and closure. Brand has consistently denied the allegations, attempting to discredit the claims and maintain his public image. His response is a carefully crafted narrative designed to sway public opinion and influence the legal proceedings. He released a video statement on Instagram, a platform where he has cultivated a large following. This direct communication was an attempt to control the narrative and bypass traditional media outlets. In his statement, he vehemently denied the rape charges, framing himself as a victim of a smear campaign. This denial is a common tactic used by those accused of sexual assault, attempting to shift blame and undermine the credibility of the accusers. He asserted that he had never engaged in non-consensual activity, a blanket statement that fails to address the specific allegations in detail. This broad denial lacks nuance and fails to acknowledge the complexities of consent. He acknowledged past struggles with addiction and promiscuity, attempting to contextualize his behavior and potentially mitigate the severity of the accusations. This admission is a calculated move, attempting to portray himself as a flawed individual rather than a perpetrator of sexual violence. He maintained that his relationships were always consensual, a claim that directly contradicts the allegations made by the 4 women. This assertion is a key point of contention, requiring careful examination of evidence and witness testimony. He stated that he will fight the charges in court, signaling his intention to mount a vigorous defense. This legal battle will likely be lengthy and complex, involving extensive investigation and potentially damaging revelations. He insisted he never was a rapist, a definitive statement that attempts to absolve himself of any wrongdoing. This declaration is a bold claim, given the gravity of the charges and the potential for devastating consequences. He said he was a fool before I lived in the light of the Lord, invoking religious language to suggest a transformation and distance himself from his past behavior. This appeal to faith is a common tactic used to garner sympathy and support from religious communities. He described himself as a drug addict, a sex addict, and an imbecile, attempting to portray himself as a flawed and troubled individual rather than a calculated predator. This self-deprecating language is a strategic attempt to minimize the perceived threat he poses. The Crown Prosecution Service reviewed the evidence and determined that there is sufficient basis to proceed with the charges. This decision is a significant step forward in the pursuit of justice, indicating that the evidence presented warrants a formal legal process. Brand is scheduled to appear at Westminster Magistrates Court on May 2nd. This court appearance marks the beginning of the legal proceedings, where he will formally enter a plea and the case will move forward. The police investigation remains ongoing, indicating that authorities are still actively seeking information and evidence related to the allegations. This continued investigation underscores the seriousness of the case and the commitment to uncovering the truth. Authorities are urging anyone with relevant information to come forward, emphasizing the importance of community involvement in the pursuit of justice. This call for information highlights the potential for additional victims or witnesses to emerge. The women who have made reports continue to receive support from specially trained officers, demonstrating a commitment to victim support and ensuring their well-being throughout the legal process. This support is crucial for helping survivors navigate the complexities of the legal system and cope with the trauma they have experienced. Brand is known for his stand-up routines, radio, television, and memoirs, establishing himself as a prominent figure in the entertainment industry. His public persona has evolved over time, from edgy comedian to self-proclaimed wellness guru. He appeared in films at the height of his fame, solidifying his status as a mainstream celebrity. His past success contrasts sharply with the current allegations, creating a complex and contradictory image. He built a large online following with wellness guru clips, capitalizing on the growing interest in self-improvement and alternative health practices. This online presence has allowed him to cultivate a loyal audience and disseminate his own narrative. He spoke of sobriety and newfound Christian faith, presenting himself as a reformed individual who has overcome his past demons. This narrative of redemption is now being challenged by the resurfacing of these serious allegations. He said Jesus had helped him with his inner demons, invoking religious language to suggest a spiritual transformation and distance himself from his past behavior. This appeal to faith is a common tactic used to garner sympathy and support from religious communities. He contended that dealing with addiction is at the forefront of his life, attempting to frame his past behavior as a consequence of his struggles with substance abuse. This explanation is a common defense strategy, but it does not excuse or justify acts of sexual violence. The allegations against Russell Brand are a stark reminder of the pervasive nature of sexual assault and the importance of holding perpetrators accountable. This case demands a critical and sober analysis, focusing on the facts, the victims, and the pursuit of justice. We must remember that behind every allegation is a human being who has potentially suffered immense trauma. Our focus should be on supporting survivors, ensuring their voices are heard, and creating a society where sexual violence is no longer tolerated. If you or someone you know has been affected by sexual assault, please seek help. Resources are available to provide support, guidance, and legal assistance. Don't remain silent. Your voice matters. Call to action. This case is a stark reminder that we must all be vigilant in challenging harmful behaviors and supporting survivors of sexual assault. Educate yourself on consent, challenge rape culture, and support organizations dedicated to preventing sexual violence. Share this video to raise awareness and encourage open conversations about these critical issues. If you have information relevant to the Russell Brand investigation, please contact the authorities. Let's work together to create a safer and more just world for everyone.